King Shark is a shark. Greetings, you beautiful people, and welcome to my spoiler-filled review of Justice League Dark Apokolips Wars. And that is a solid and fair spoiler warning. Raise the alarms! So, if you haven't seen the movie yet, what are you doing here? Get out of here, go watch the movie, and then come back. Or if you just don't give a shit, then you can stay. And before we get started here, folks, you may notice that I'm not wearing one of my signature hats that I always wear. And that's because it's like 80 degrees outside, and trust me when I say, trying to get sweat stains out of your hats, just... Fuck! So, Justice League Dark Apokolips Wars is the final movie in the New 52 DC animated universe, which began with Justice League War after the Flashpoint paradox. And I admittedly haven't watched all of the New 52 DC animated movies, just because I stopped watching after Bad Blood, just because I don't want to talk about it. But after that, I kind of played it by ear. If I heard something was really good by like my friends or reviewers, then I checked it out. Or if I was really interested in it. But if I didn't hear good things about it, or I wasn't interested, then I didn't watch it. But I have seen a good chunk of them. And since this is the last in the New 52 animated universe, I figured I'd go ahead and watch it and do this little review. So, final warning, folks. Spoilers ahead. You've been warned. So, Justice League Dark Apokolips Wars starts out with a quote from the Flashpoint paradox. And it's the one that Barry's mom tells him. And it's, accept the things that you cannot change. Have the courage to change the things you can. And have the wisdom to know the difference. So at the beginning of the movie, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman are briefing the members of the Justice League and the Teen Titans about Darkseid. And Darkseid has tried to conquer Earth twice now, with the first one resulting in the formation of the Justice League. And it looks like Darkseid is planning another assault on Earth, because Apokolips, his home planet, phased into their dimension, released a whole bunch of stealth drones, and then phased out. And to the Justice League, this looks like a prelude to war. And they're not going to wait for Darkseid to make the first move. They're going to attack. They're going to attack first. And the plan is simple. Go to Apokolips and kill Darkseid. And this is a plan that some members of the Justice League aren't very keen on. Lex Luthor is now a member of the Justice League. He's not really keen on it. Flash doesn't like it. And new members, John Constantine, doesn't like it either. And, Flash and Constantine say, look, you can't just go kick this hornet's nest like everybody on Earth is bulletproof. That's going to cause a massive war on Earth that could cause the death of billions of people. And sure, Darkseid needs to be killed, but there has to be a better way. We should, rethink this. And Superman is not hearing any of this. He's like, what, this is not open for discussion. We're going to Apokolips, and we're going to kill Darkseid. So they travel to Apokolips, and they're only expecting to find parademons. But what they find isn't parademons. It's something else entirely. And then the movie goes into a time skip, and we go to 2 years later, and we find Earth, and it's completely ravaged and destroyed, and basically Darkseid has conquered Earth. And we find John Constantine and Etrigan the Demon, and they're full-blown alcoholics now, and they're drinking their way through all the pubs left in England. And this is where Superman and Raven find them. And when they enter the pub, it's attacked by parademons. And Raven does try to fight off the parademons, but her father, Trigon, that's not right at all. Trigon is causing her massive pain because he's trapped in the crystal in her forehead, and he's constantly yelling at her, let me out, you ungrateful daughter. And Constantine yells at Superman, like, yo, smash them, what are you doing? And he says he can't, which basically leaves it up to Constantine to deal with the parademons. And it's revealed here that Darkseid injected liquid kryptonite into Superman to keep him from ever being a threat. And Constantine, he wants nothing to do with Superman because he led them all into a massacre, which resulted in the death of Constantine's lover, Zatanna. And Constantine eventually does hear them out. And then it's revealed what happened 2 years ago during the attack on Apokolips. And Darkseid knew every aspect of their plan because he was spying on them through a cyborg's eye. And what they found wasn't parademons, it was paradooms. Parademons upgraded with Doomsday DNA. And the Justice League, they never stood a chance. They got completely destroyed. And this scene is completely bloody and gruesome. And it was at this scene where I was like, what the fuck is this movie rated? It's rated R? What the fuck? You know, I was not ready for that. Not that I have a problem with that at all. It was just, you know, I bought the movie and popped it in. Didn't even look at the rating at all. But when that scene happened, I was like, oh, fuck. This is what this movie's going to be about. And that scene definitely sets up this movie because death is just a thing that happens in this movie. And you better be ready for it. So, the Justice League is completely destroyed. You know, Hal Jordan dies. Aquaman is split in two by the Omega Beams. Mirror has her face, like, ripped apart. You know, Wonder Woman gets her arm ripped off. You know, it's gruesome. Shazam has his leg bitten off. It's gruesome. But Darkseid doesn't kill everybody. He leaves some of them alive because he has plans for them. And like I mentioned before, he injects Superman with liquid kryptonite to keep him from ever being a threat. And then he tattoos Superman's S on his chest with kryptonite. And Superman's left to go. And the reason he does this is to basically demoralize everybody that Superman runs into. Batman is brainwashed by Darkseid and put on the Mobius chair. And, you know, this movie is loosely based on Jeff Johns' Darkseid War, where Batman was sitting in the Mobius chair. And Batman in the Mobius chair with infinite knowledge is a bad thing in itself, but when he's working for Darkseid, it's, you know, equally badness. That is all the badness. It's later revealed down further in the movie that the Flash is basically working as a generator for Apokolips. And Cyborg is now the source wall for Apokolips. And the rest of the members of the Justice League are basically turned into servants for Darkseid. So Constantine does agree to help Superman and Raven, and they need a locator spell to find Damian Wayne. And Damian is now the leader of the League of Assassins. And Raven teleports him there to the hideout of the League of Assassins. And Damian is not happy at all to see Superman. In fact, Superman is not very popular among the remaining superheroes. But Damian is willing to let Superman live for now and hear them out because Raven is there. And there is this sort of romantic tension between Damian and Raven that I believe that began with Justice League versus Teen Titans, where Damian joined the Teen Titans, and it kind of sparked this sort of romantic interest between Damian and Raven. And I'll talk a little bit about that later. So it's then revealed by Damian what happened after the attack 2 years ago. And he wasn't really happy about this plan at all. He thought it would fail from the start But Batman believed in Superman, and that belief basically cost him his father, and he's never going to forgive Superman for that, especially since his teammates in the Teen Titans were also taken down by the Paradooms. And again, like I said, a bloody scene. Like, you just see Starfire laying there in a pool of her own blood, and it's pretty gruesome, and even Nightwing is killed. But Damian does try to save Nightwing by using the Lazarus Pit. And he did promise Raven that he wouldn't use the pit. But Nightwing, being Damian's brother, he had to take the chance to save him. But it didn't really work. And Nightwing is now basically sitting in a padded cell and is half crazed with a straitjacket on. And they need Damian because he's the only one who can break the brainwashing on Batman from Darkseid. And Damian agrees to help them since he sees it as his responsibility to save his father or kill him if he can't be saved. But the only way to Apokolips is through the boom tube at LexCorp Tower. And he asks them how they're going to do that. And Lex Luthor, he's basically working for Darkseid, begrudgingly, really. Not really begrudgingly, actually. He's just doing it to save his own skin. And Lois Lane is actually negotiating with the Suicide Squad. And the leader of the Suicide Squad now is Harley Quinn, after Amanda Waller died of cancer. And when I say negotiating, I really mean they're having an MMA fight to see if the Suicide Squad is going to help them. And Lois Lane just beats Harley Quinn, fairly easy, in fact. And the deal was, if Lois wins, then the Suicide Squad is going to help them take Lex Tower. And then it's at this moment where Raven is hearing her father yell at her again, and she's like, yo, I need a minute to rest here. And Damian asks, Harley, is there a place they could rest? And it's kind of funny because Harley Quinn is just like, oh, is that what the kids are calling it nowadays? And even Cheetah kind of thinks that's what's going on. Like, they just think that Robin and Raven are going to go fuck in this room. And Cheetah's just kind of like, yeah, you guys have fun in here. And you have this nice little moment between Damian and Raven. And at first when I saw them kind of like teasing this relationship between Damian and Raven, I was just kind of like, I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know if that's going to work at all. But honestly, seeing it, I ship it. I think I think that's good. And it's good to see Damian actually happy for a change, because Damian's always so dark and grumpy and brooding. And it's just nice to see him happy. And if Raven makes him happy, then, I'm fine with that. Like I said, I ship it! So, the plan to take back Earth from Darkseid is... Darkseid has been launching these things called the Planet Reapers. And what the Planet Reapers do is they steal the Earth's molten core and they transport it to Apokolips. And there's 3 of them, and they're going to have teams attack the Planet Reapers, which will get the Paradooms off Apokolips. Because they'll go there to stop the heroes from destroying the Planet Reapers. And Darkseid himself is actually leaving Apokolips to go claim Oa for his empire. And that is the moment where they have to strike. And they have to take LexCorp Tower and use the boom tube to get to Apokolips and then blow up the generator reactor that's powering Apokolips, which will start a chain reaction and blow up Apokolips. And this plan is literally like 1,000,000 to 1. And the reason they have to do this now is because within a week, the Earth's molten core is going to be gone. And then it's going to be game over for them. And like I said, it's 1,000,000 to 1 shot, but it's a shot that they absolutely have to take. So, the Suicide Squad, which consists of Harley Quinn, King Shark, who is, I guess, John Constantine's ex-boyfriend? It's weird, like, John Constantine is like, oh, fuck, it's my ex. And Raven thinks, he's talking about Harley. And he's like, am I bloody mad? And she looks at King Shark, and King Shark, like, winks at him. And I'm just like, it's the biggest, like, what the fuck moment in the movie. It's like, man, what the fuck? fuck? You dated King Shark? Like, what the hell? It was so weird. But anyway, what the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, King Shark, Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang. You got Black Manta. You have Bane, with the Suicide Squad, and then you have Superman, Raven, Damian Wayne, and Lois Lane. And also Etrigan the Demon is with them. And they go and raid LexCorp Tower for the boom tube. And it's at this moment when they're raiding LexCorp Tower that, Lady Shiva is with them. And she gets shot in the head just by a LexCorp grunt. And it's at this moment I was like, oh fuck. Okay, anybody at any given time right now can die at a moment's notice, because Lady Shiva is like literally the DC's best martial artist, and she just gets shot in the head. And so I was just like, okay, anybody at any given time can die right now. And it's literally proven right, as literally the next scene, as they're headed upstairs, Cheetah just gets gunned down. She's along with them on the Suicide Squad, and she just gets gunned down by a grunt. And no one really cares. The movie just kind of continues. It's kind of weird, honestly. She gets shot, and then they're like, alright, where do we need to go next? It's just kind of weird. Like, this is a major Wonder Woman figure, a Wonder Woman villain. She gets gunned down, and nobody really cares. But Lex Luthor shows up to stop them. But it's revealed that Lex Luthor is actually a mole within Darkseid's rank, and he's been helping Lois for the past 2 years. And Damian and Captain Boomerang don't trust Lex Luthor at all. Damian is like, he's a stinking collaborator who switched sides when it suited him. But they do need Lex Luthor's help, and Lex Luthor does have a shitload of kryptonite weapons for them to use, because the Paradooms are weak to kryptonite, just like Doomsday was, because Doomsday was created from Superman DNA, and so therefore he's going to have the kryptonite weakness. Therefore, the Paradooms also as well. And so the team of Superman using one of Lex Luthor's kryptonite suits is with them. We have Damian Wayne, we have Etrigan, John Constantine, all going to Apokolips, but people do actually have to stay behind at LexCorp Tower to sort of guard the boom tube. And then during the assault on Oa, Batman, he notices that there's been a boom tube activity at LexCorp, and he pings in as like, Luthor, what's going on? There was an unauthorized use of the boom tube. And Lex Luthor, he tries to play it off. He's like, oh, it was nothing. It was a power surge. Oh, hail Darkseid. And it's kind of funny because Batman is still doing that thing as he's evil. It's been a running theme for Batman in the New 52 movies where he just kind of goes, And it's just a neat little detail I like. He's still doing that as evil Batman. But he goes, Batman, informs Darkseid on Oa that, Luthor is a traitor. And Darkseid tells him, hey, transport some of Earth's molten core to Oa. I want to make a point. And Darkseid literally just basically kills all the Green Lanterns at Oa, as well as the big green lantern there. And Oa's no more. And Darkseid is headed back to Apokolips. So back on Apokolips, the heroes do run into Darkseid's Justice League, which are twisted versions, or it's basically Hawkman, Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, and Starfire. And they're all brainwashed by Darkseid with cyborg implants. And they run into them, and a big battle ensues here. And Etrigan does start fighting Wonder Woman, as he sees Wonder Woman as a worthy opponent to him. And Wonder Woman gets the better of Etrigan here. She kills him. But John Constantine is able to use Wonder Woman's lasso of truth to break the brainwashing on Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman agrees to hold off Darkseid's evil Justice League while they head into Darkseid's fortress to blow up the generator. But when they get to the generator, they find the generator is actually Barry Allen. And he's been running for basically 2 years now. And he's like super skinny, and they stop him. And Constantine makes him sleep, but as he makes him sleep, he finds out that, oh, you're the one who caused the flashpoint. And now that there's no generator to blow up, there's no real way to blow up Apokolips. But Constantine does have a plan, and suggests they keep moving forward. Back at LexCorp Tower, Paradooms are actually headed to LexCorp Tower. And basically the Suicide Squad, along with Lex Luthor and Lois Lane, have to hold off the Paradooms here. And over on Apokolips, they find Cyborg, and he is now, like I said, the Source Wall. So when they run into Cyborg, Constantine uses his techno magic to release Cyborg from his hold, which also releases the hold on the members of the Justice League, which are now the Fury for Darkseid. And they try to free him, but he tells him that he's fully integrated on the Source Wall and can never leave Apokolips. But he is going to help them stop Darkseid and get them home. It's at this moment that Batman and Darkseid show up. And Darkseid basically tells Batman, why is Robin still alive? Correct this. And Batman attacks the Justice League here and begins fighting his own son. And he basically beats the shit out of Damian Wayne and almost kills him with the kryptonite sword. But it's Damian's face, seeing him look up at his father with just sadness in his face, reminds Bruce of that moment when his parents were killed in Crime Alley. And it's enough to snap Batman out of his brainwashing from Darkseid. And Batman hurls the kryptonite sword at Darkseid, and it actually smashes into his eyes. Darkseid does try to kill Batman with his Omega beams, but Damian jumps in front of him and is killed by the Omega beams. And Raven, seeing this, she loves Damian, and her powers are running off emotions. And she snaps, she breaks, and Trigon is coming. And she has a deal with Constantine that if Trigon ever breaks free and is coming out, that Constantine will kill her. And so Constantine uses this accursed dagger to chip the crystal off of a Raven, and he breaks it. And Trigon is released, but Trigon is only in, this mist form. And Constantine tells him, look, I'm giving you a willing magic host. Enter me and let's kill Darkseid. But Trigon has different plans, and he enters the body of Superman. And now you have Trigon Superman. And it's the old god Trigon Superman versus the new god Darkseid. So Batman is mourning Damian, and Damian's last words to his father is, remember, father, justice, not vengeance. Constantine is also killed by Trigon Superman. He literally just grabs his neck and goes, and Constantine is dead. Like I said, people bite the dust very fast in this movie. So, back at LexCorp Tower, they can't hold off the Paradooms. And they have to initiate a self-destruct. And Lois is trying to get in hold of Clark to say goodbye. And you can see Superman's he was wearing Lex Luthor's armor suit, and the arm of it is laying there. And so Batman picks it up and tells Cyborg to transport this message to Superman's mech suit so he can see it. And she basically tells him, we're not going to make it, and you're going to need to be strong, and you need to save the world, and that I love you. And seeing Lois die is enough to break Trigon's hold on Superman. And I gotta give it to DC, the fucking balls to kill Lois Lane. Like, I didn't think they'd actually do that, you know? I never thought they'd be like, oh yeah, they're gonna kill off Lois Lane. I'd be like, no, they won't. But she dies. And it's enough to break the hold Trigon has on Superman. And Darkseid does capture Trigon, but Superman is now back and fully powered and free of the kryptonite poisoning. And Superman just starts beating the crap out of Darkseid. But their plan does sort of involve Constantine. And Cyborg is like, well, that's kind of a problem because Constantine is a little bit dead. So Constantine is in heaven with Zatanna. And she tells him that she put a compulsion spell on him to not save her when the Paradooms attacked. Because instead of saving Zatanna, Constantine just kind of ran away. And Constantine's okay with this because he's like, well, I can spend eternity with the woman I love now. But she's like, no, your friends need you. I'm sending you back. And so she sends Constantine back. And he has like this really funny dialogue where he's like, can't even be a corpse in peace. Wank and destiny can go boggle itself. Raven does revive Robin because she loves him. And she does the whole same line of like, you know, he's like, you brought me back. And she's like, yeah, I had to take the chance. And it's nice. I like it. I like good vibes like that. But anyway, so the plan is this. Cyborg is going to recall all the Paradooms back to Apokolips. He's then going to open up a boom tube to let everybody get home, and then open up another boom tube to No Destination in Mind that will swallow Apokolips and Darkseid along with it. But Darkseid has to be distracted for this to work. And they're not leaving Superman behind. However, Constantine does have the good idea of like, why don't we just release Trigon and have those two fight while we do this? So that's exactly what they do. And Trigon and Darkseid are fighting while the heroes leave. And Cyborg, he can't go with them because he's fully integrated into the source wall. And so all the heroes leave, and he opens up a boom tube. And his last word is like, well, looks like I got the last word. Suck it, bitches. And, you know, the boom tube opens up, sucks Apokolips, Darkseid, and Trigon into the boom tube, and that's that. So we then find our heroes over at Titan's Tower, and the victory is bittersweet. Because, yeah, they did beat Darkseid and destroy Apokolips, but it came at a great cost. 31% of the Earth's molten core is gone. And it threw off the Earth's rotation. And any change to the Earth's rotation or molten core is going to be burning or freezing. And Superman's optimistic that they can still save the world, even though if, billions more might die, he's hopeful that they can do this. The Justice League does not give up. However, Constantine, he's kind of like, you know what, the world is too broken for this. And he goes up to Flash and says, hey, you gotta start again. You gotta clear the board. You gotta create another Flashpoint. And he doesn't want to do this because he promised Iris he wouldn't. And Constantine is like, yeah, I get that. We might make the same mistakes. It might be shit. But it's going to be a lot better than what we have here. And he's kind of right, And, the members of the Justice League, they're just broken now. And it's bittersweet, And so Flash agrees to this, and he races off to create another Flashpoint. And the white light engulfs everybody, and that's how it ends, ladies and gentlemen. So, for the things that, I'll go with the things I didn't like about the movie, and then I'll talk about the things that I liked about the movie. Honestly, there's not too many things I disliked about this movie. Honestly, the only gripe I have is I think it should have been a little bit longer. It's really only 90 minutes, and I noticed this during my third watch of the movie, where I was like, this movie is really short. It's very short. I think it would have benefited from, another hour. But other than that, it's a pretty damn good movie, honestly. Like, it didn't completely blow me away. I wasn't like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. But honestly, it's a bloody good movie, I think this is a good conclusion for the New 52 universe. I don't exactly agree with them just creating another Flashpoint and changing everything. I know I said that you could do that for the movie cinematic universe if you wanted to, and really, honestly, you know what, now that I think about it, I think the Flashpoint idea works better, because now they can start fresh, it can be a clean slate, it can be, it's basically a blank piece of paper now, and they can basically mold it into whatever they want now, ladies and gentlemen. Now, some of the parts in this movie that I really did like was, there's this part in the beginning of the movie where they're in the pub, and the parademons are attacking, and Etrigan is basically passed out at the bar, and a parademon shows up, and he wakes up, chugs his beer, and he just looks at this parademon and is like, and he blows its head off with his flame breath, and then goes to sleep and is just like, ah, damn nuisance. Harley Quinn has this really great moment when they're raiding LexCorp Tower, and she's beating up Lex Luthor's henchmen and singing, if you're happy and you know it, smash your head. And she takes her mallet and just starts smashing people's head and just, if you're happy and you know it, smash your head. It's funny. I got a good chuckle out of that. I also really liked Etrigan in this movie because he likes Damian Wayne. Because there's a part where Constantine is at the League of Assassins, and Damian is like, if you steal anything, I'm going to cut your hands off. And Etrigan is just like, oh yeah, I really like him. And when the assassins are attacking Constantine and Etrigan and Superman and Raven, Etrigan, he's just really bored, he's looking for a challenge, and assassins are no challenge to him because he's Etrigan, he's really powerful. And so he's just so bored, and he's taking out these assassins, and he's like, Etrigan the Demon Slayer is here, woe to you, and you, you as well. I really like Etrigan in this movie. And like I said at the beginning of this movie, folks, death is just a thing that happens in this movie. And it happens so suddenly, too. It's pretty gritty and gruesome. And it's notable characters, too. Like, when the Paradooms are attacking the Planet Reapers, there's some notable heroes here trying to destroy it. Like Kate Kane Batwoman, she gets killed by a Paradoom. Batgirl gets ripped to shreds by a Paradoom. It's gruesome. Just notable characters just, boom, they're dead. And it's just a thing, It's pretty gruesome, and something I really wasn't prepared for in this movie. I was like, damn, people are just dying like flies here. But yeah, it's really good. There's a lot of great action scenes. I really like, and you know what I found out? I actually liked a lot of the support characters a lot better than some of the main characters. Like, people like Harley Quinn, Etrigan the Demon was badass, Constantine was cool. Constantine is kind of like the main, he's basically the glue that keeps this movie together, because there is a lot of Constantine. But, the Damian and Raven relationship I liked. Like I said, I ship it! But yeah, it's really good. It's actually a really good, I honestly would recommend it. I would recommend go out and buy it on Blu-ray, because I did buy it on Blu-ray. You also do get some of these great extras. There is an Adam Strange little short in here, and you do get the sneak peek at the next DC animated movie, Superman Man of Tomorrow. But honestly, ladies and gentlemen, this video is going on a little too long, and I think I'll do my reaction to Man of Tomorrow in another video. So, in the comments below, let me know what you thought of Justice League Lark. English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? I definitely do not. But let me know what you think of Justice League Dark, Apokolips Wars in the comments below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Like I said, I thought it was a bloody good time. I didn't find it, to be completely be-all, fuck-all amazing. But I enjoyed it. I think it's a good movie. You know, it's a bloody good movie, and if you're looking for a good DC movie, definitely check it out. Alright, folks, well, that's all the time I have for this episode. If you like this episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and poke that bell icon to stay updated on all my videos, as it does help me out, and I'll see you all next episode. You guys have a fantastic day.